as it's officially the worst year since 2008 for the photography industry, let's talk about the money you're wasting that you could be saving. That was my air freshener going off. Now I'm going to go through 4 main things that photographers just literally hemorrhage money on. And it's better to save money than to make money. Money you don't spend, you don't pay tax on. Okay, so let's go through this, and we're going to go through some really common misconceptions on it as well. Now, of course, I'm a studio photographer. Some of this doesn't apply to everybody, but I'm going to try and give like caveats as we go along, because what I need and what a 100-meter sprint running Olympic photography person, massive telephoto lens, wears a vest kind of thing, needs what? Different. First up, cameras. You're wasting money on cameras, I guarantee it. This is a 5DS. This is a £1,000 camera today. It wasn't when it came out, but I'm still buying these. I've actually just bought 2 more. But this here is £1,000. If, and wait for the caveats, there are caveats, if you're charging less than £2,500 a day before usage, you do not need better than this. This is also a £400 lens on the front of it. This is a £1,500 camera. This will shoot anything. Caveats coming. Now, the big thing I hear people saying is, yeah, but if you buy it into the business, you can devalue it and then it's free. It's not free. Let's make it £1,000 for my simple math skills. If this costs £1,000 and I devalue it or tax deduct it, that does not make it free. It might come off my tax bill, but say this is £1,000 cash here. Here's my £1,000 cash. Say I pay 20% tax where I am. Here's £200 tax. Would you rather have £800 cash or an £800 more expensive camera? If you're a business person, the correct answer is cash. If you're just trying to not pay tax for whatever weird reason and you want to own lots of highly depreciating assets, yeah, go for the camera. It makes no business sense. It is the same as buying a brand new camera or a brand new car. It makes no sense. If you buy a brand new car, you drive it down the road and you're literally blowing money out the exhaust. It's the same with cameras. Second hand is the smart choice in almost every application. Times when it's not the right choice for you, times when this might not be what you need, a second-hand camera. If you are shooting 300,000 frames a year, you probably want to go from new because the repair costs actually add up to be more expensive. If you need a particular service deal from Canon because of the type of work you do, maybe you have 20 photographers going out each weekend shooting events, buying new can make sense because of the aftercare you get. If, like me, you're a one-man band, and I shoot, these cameras take about, what are we doing, 75,000 frames a year per body. I've got 3 bodies, about to have 5. Just replace the shutter for 400 quid. Don't waste money on expensive cameras. If I bought the latest and greatest version of this lens and camera today, it probably cost me £5,000-6,000. Instead, it cost me £1,500. I've saved like £4,000 or £5,000 instantly. And yes, I pay tax on that money I've not spent, but I have the money. Very, very important thing to have there. Which brings me through to the next thing, and I've slightly become guilty of this through various mishaps. Multiple systems of gear. The amount of photographers I speak to, and they're like, yes, well, I've got the Pentax, I've got the Fuji, I've got the Nikon, and a Sony as well for doing this. Like all these different cameras, different lenses, different lighting brands. Streamline the whole process. I only shoot on Canon full-frame bodies. That's it, because then every lens works on all of them. My video camera, this one here, the reason I have the Blackmagic 6K, a Canon lens fits directly onto it. I don't need a different lens system. Very good. All of my lights I shoot with are broncolor. And here's where I've messed up. My video lights are aperture and they use Bowens fit. So that's annoying. So I have to have speed ring adapters. And that's time and money wasted. But I also, broncolor doesn't really do a good video option, and Bowens mount doesn't have a good lighting option at the moment. So, although it might change, I might be changing all my broncolor out for Godox AD1200s. But we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. But multiple systems, there's just no scales of economy there. It's the different memory cards, the different cables, the different lenses. It just doesn't make sense. Whatever logic you've got in your head, because I've heard every photographer from my one-to-one course telling me why they've got it, it doesn't make sense. Stick to one thing, keep it like that. Now, because I've got it to hand, I'm going to throw this one in here. It's not a biggie, but it's a new thing. USB cables. Tether cables Buying cheap tether cables is a waste of money now because, and hang on, put this down before I break it. Back in the days of the old USB tether cables, you could put any $5 Amazon cable from computer to camera and you were green-lit to go. It was all going to be fine. Everything would work out perfectly. But then USB-C came along. USB-C is a tricky beast. It's not straightforward. It doesn't work like you want it to. Go and invest in a good quality cable. We've had to stop using tether tool cables. They just don't work on USB-C. They're useless. They constantly cut out. They constantly fail. At the moment, I'm using, let me just find the name of them. Found it. Area 51 cables. And there's another brand called Cobra. It's the exact same cable, just badged up differently. They are expensive, but if you're using USB-C, you need these expensive cables. I must have gone through 5 or 6 tether tools cables. It's constantly breaking. A good cable saves you money in the long run. Thank me later. Now the last one, and this is something I'd advise you buy brand new and spend a lot of money on. So contradictory to almost all of my advice. And this is the only time I buy new and the only time I sort of spend maximal budgets. And it's camera bags. Don't buy a cheap camera bag. It is false economy. Let me show you some examples. Let's flip my lid down. This is my 2010 Billingham. It's got some stuff in the pocket, which is a bit soundy. This is from 2010. It's a Billingham bag. I wear it every single day. It has been around the world with me on shoots. It's mostly a laptop bag. I don't really put cameras in it. It has my laptops. It goes on holidays with me. It goes everywhere with me. I don't actually know of a time I've traveled without it. And every single day, it's on my shoulder, in my boot. It just works. I've had that bag for all of that time. It's never let me down. It's also waterproof, which is really good. Likewise, I've got 3 of these. These are Think Tank airport security bags. You can replace the wheels. I think this is like wheel set number 4 on this particular one, I think. This is my first one. I got this at the same time as the Billingham. I had a bit of a bag splash. And you can see how heavily worn it is. This has been in the belly of a plane, in the overhead in a plane, on trains, in cars. They've been like tied together, gaffer taped, thrown in the back of trucks. They're obviously not as secure as a Pelly case, but I can't tolerate the noise of Pelly case wheels walking on concrete. So these are beautiful to travel with. I use them as my suitcase on holidays. I use them as my travel case as well as my camera bags. They're very good and they do save you money in the long run. It's like a good pair of shoes. It's worth it in the long run. Same with coats, actually. There's a few things like that. Cameras aren't one of them, though. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.